What the fuck? I literally did not press that. You see that? My hands was not on that. I think it does something when you do that. Like, I don't know. Anyway, man's out here. I got a marijuana on the go, or it looks like it's on the go, but it ain't. So this is going to be for the second channel, or on a unlisted video or some shit, because I cannot seem to fucking... I treat my main channel like some divine catalogue, even though none of the videos represent anything of that nature. But I don't want to upload videos on a whim, because I want them to have like value, and if I just start fucking ranting every day, then eventually people are going to fuck off. Or, I don't know, I want to have like a higher... You know how people have second channels and first channels? I don't want loads of random shit to be on the first channel, or whatever. I don't know, but fuck knows. Anyway, here I am, man's out here. I'm going to have a little discussion about the value of quitting weed. Right, so it might not be the bestest video, but just allow me. You ain't got to watch. I'll try to make it, but whatever. So this is the first time I've actually really spoke about weed on any of my channel consciously in its own video. And there's a lot I want to say about it, and I want to really discover the true nature of weed and do many experiments, because I find it very interesting that so many people have such a diverse range of experiences with weed. I find that it can be weed is very, very fucking powerful, and people don't really emphasize the potency of weed these days. They just say it's just a plant, and that's what I used to say when I was a kid to my mum, and she'd be like, I wish you stopped smoking that shit. I'd be like, it doesn't do anything though, mum, does it? It's just a plant. Like, most of the younger generation, especially in the UK, you know, if you just find yourself being an average geezer, you know, growing up through your teens out on the streets, and then you start blazing, and then, you know, you've just been blazing the whole time and you've never really questioned it. That's what I'm kind of proposing here, because that's what most men who smoke weed are. You're not particularly successful, you're only really getting mediocre results. You've been smoking weed for as long as you, like, I don't know, 4 or maybe more years. Whatever the fuck, it depends what age you are, I guess. I feel like eventually you've got to question it, but most men do not question the weed paradigm, and that's why I'm sat here now, because I think it's interesting to look. The reason why I originally quit weed, so I feel unqualified to speak on this topic in a sense, because I did quit for 6 months cold turkey, and I am a full blast blazer. Like, I ain't got no backing in here. I smoke fucking countless amounts of these a day, especially these days. I don't want to. It's an unwise money decision. But I have quit for 6 months anyway, and that was an experience. And that's one thing that I recommend, is if you quit for a prolonged period of time, you come back to it with a new pair of eyes. 6 months is a long time, mate. Eventually you don't even think about it. It completely leaves your routine, and that is hard for some people. You know what? Oh yeah, you don't want to know something mad? I forgot what weed is like when it had been that 6 months, and that's outside of most people's possibility, and it's valuable. It definitely can be very valuable. Right. Right, so in short, what happened to me when I quit weed? So, so basically, right, this is what I was going to say earlier, I'll get back to it. So, the reason I wanted to quit weed initially is because everyone's basically getting mediocre results. You and me, mediocre results, right? So if you take something as fundamental as weed, for the most part, you smoke weed basically every day. You think you have all these problems in your life, but somehow you still manage to get this, because you want it. You know you're playing games with yourself, in a sense. It depends where you are, innit? Look, because this is what I say about drugs in general, is there's not really a problem with... I was talking to my grandparents, right, and they are not advocates of the psychedelics. And I was telling them that, look, I understand if it is really mediating my way to happiness and success and my full potential, in terms of if I'm happy and fulfilled and nobody is really getting hurt around me or nothing, you know, and I'm fine, I'm sovereign, and I'm healthy, then where is the problem? Not that I check all those boxes, but I'm just talking hypothetically. If you've succeeded, and you are very conscious, and you are a holistic being, and you are healthy, and the whole shebang, then what's the problem with smoking a zoo on the balcony or on a mountain, or going to mountains and taking some fucking magic mushrooms? Because, I mean, look, it depends. It depends. But that's what I'm saying, is like, do you if your life is in shambles, which it is for the most part, if you're on the self-actualization, personal development sort of path, then this is not what you want. And you're going to wake up in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, and you're going to be doing the same fucking routine. Because you know what the routine is that you're doing? It's the default routine of path of least resistance. Maybe it isn't. But look, if it had, then maybe the weed is not so much of a problem for you, and maybe you don't really need to watch this. There's still value in quitting weed. But anyway, I'm just saying most people are getting mediocre results. So what I was originally going to say is that I was looking at my life and going, hey, I want change. This is how I explained it to my mate and my sister when I was sat in the garden. We were smoking weed. I said, I think I'm going to quit weed. I was on about it for a while. And they were like, why? And I said, well, it's something that's so fundamental to my routine, and I do it every day, as so you probably do as well, and how the typical stoner does. It's a daily, literally wake up, you smoke, go to bed, smoke. It's literally the weed culture. If you really look into the Rastafarianism, it's like everyone loves this shit, fam. And I don't blame them. And I love that sort of culture, to be honest. Unlike Andrew Tate, they think it's stupid. And that's another thing, is Andrew Tate and his brother say they've seen it do horrible things to people's lives. It will kill your aspirations, it will deaden your dreams, and it does, in a sense, and it can, but it depends. Some people are highly productive on it, and some people turn into sleeping sheep. And you end up turning into a vegetable on the sofa, and it makes you okay with being bored. It makes me feel more unconscious a lot of the time. Makes my options seem limited. It makes me make bad decisions. What I mean by my options being limited is it's almost like I don't see half of the world. I know what I want and I go straight for it. And then I wake up in the morning and I'm like, and what I mean is like I'll just go straight to bed, and then I'll wake up and the house is fucked, or I didn't do my teeth or some shit. And it's almost like I don't have a say in it. I know I do have a say in it, but it's like the weed takes over, but it definitely makes you lazy. It makes you tired. I drank a whole bottle of CBD once, and it made me feel like I'd only just woken up all day. It was my birthday. The first time I tried CBD, I thought I'll drink the whole thing to see if I can feel anything. It's made me fucking well tired. Right. So, think about this. So if I was to change something that was so fundamental to my routine, then it would have deep ramifications throughout my life. That was my original reason why I went through with this in the first place. And there was many ons and offs. I went on and off. I had a lot of long periods of self-destruction, smoking weed, bad habits, and being good, of self-actualization, personal development. And the weed seems to go hand in hand, actually, now that I think about it, with the destruction. When I get better, I'm typically, in my observations over the past year, I'm not smoking weed. But I think that's the thing. So now that I think about it, these are some of the experiments that I referred to earlier, I think, if I did. I want to do experiments with weed to really understand it, at least in my perspective, because it's very interesting. And I do love it, and I do want to smoke it. However, it's tricky to use in the right manner, because I know with meditation it can be very profound, and with breath work I often like doing yoga more when I've had smoked weed. But it's really about taking control and not turning into a vegetable zombie, because it can happen. and it's also a waste of time and money. So yeah, so that's the reason I originally proposed it, because if I changed something so fundamental, then my life would change, I guess, in a sense. And did it? Yeah, so let's get into exactly how that went down. As soon as I got home the first day, and this was on multiple occasions because I did slip and then go back, but I had a solid 6-month period of quitting weed, and then around the edges of that I had 1 month here and there. So it was many ons and offs, and this is why I say initially that there is so much value in quitting weed, because without me even just relaying the bullet points, I know that my experience with battling with myself, with quitting the weed, or not even battling with myself, just dropping it, and then coming back to it, and really having a good think about the nature of it. When I returned, by the way, it was like 5 times better than it's ever been. So that's a pro, and it's been many months now, and it doesn't seem like that's ever going to go away. It's like I've got a new satisfaction and gratitude for it. There's a lot of value in it, and that's it. I just hope that you maybe take this on board. So I am going to run out of storage. I'm sorry this video is a bit shit, but that's it. I just wanted to get some thoughts out there. But there's more. So yeah, when I quit, there was so much more to do. I got home, instead of just thinking I'm going to have a joint, because normally when you're at work or whatever, you're thinking, oh, I'd love to get home and have a joint. And then you get home and have a joint, and there you go. You might as well have just fucking forgot the day. And sometimes I forget the day because these shit makes the day forgettable. And it's the phone as well. There's a lot to say about the phone. I think the phone's pretty fucking evil, I can't lie. It's a big distraction. And I think it's literally been sucking my soul away. And I just haven't realised it. It literally, the phone shatters your train of thought. The phone's a bigger danger than the weed. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's what makes people complacent, is their eye for this digital bullshit and the weed combined. So there's a lot of changes, and I instantly I got on the ball massively when I quit weed, and I started to be everything I wanted to be. I felt like finally all of the personal development and spirituality was paying off. I was the happiest I've ever been, healthiest I've ever been as soon as I quit weed. And that was a very obvious change that anyone who knows me observed. Immediately when I quit weed, I became the best, vibrant, authentic version of myself. However, over the months, I slipped back into my monotony, and actually, is that the right word? And actually it was even worse than original, because I slipped into some form of depression, and I don't know exactly, of course. It's hard to say, and this goes for anything. If you're doing an experiment with the cold showers or the meditation or the quitting weed, you don't know what exactly is causing the results, because your life is so complex. What are you going to do? Just choose one and throw out the rest? It's difficult, man. Yeah, I'm running out of time, running out of storage. That's it. Sorry, this is a shit video. Yeah, I'm gonna be quitting again, and check out the weed playlist in the description. It will be, and check out the website so that we can build a more solid presence away from centralized